Hi, welcome to Karma's a Stitch. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Anthony.
And I'm pretty sure this is episode 18. We do our little podcast about knitting, crochet, whatever crafty thing we're getting up to every 2 weeks. So it's been 2 weeks since we've done an episode for Karma's a Stitch. I have been doing Vlogmas, so some of the information, some of the projects I might not go too deep into just because I talked about it in our last episode and I've been doing it on my Vlogmas. But Adminie Stuff. You can find me on Instagram as Karma's a Stitch. I have an email, which is tanya@karmasastitch.com. I'm on Ravelry as 76karma. And we do have a Facebook, but I'm not really on there a whole lot. If you are interested in Zooming and knitting along with us, I do have 2 Zoom meetings that I host a week. And that is Monday night, my time, and I'm in Boise, Idaho. Monday nights at 8 p.m. and Tuesday mornings at 10 p.m. We are going to do those at least through the end of the year. We might carry them into the beginning of the year. We'll just see. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. And I really hope you enjoy what we share. If you are returning, welcome back. I so enjoy all of the comments and engaging with folks, which is pretty much why we started this, was so that we can kind of make some friends in the fiber community. And it has absolutely far exceeded what our expectations were. We do start each of our episodes with a scripture. And the scripture for this week or this episode is Proverbs 15:30. And I will put that at the end of the episode. We are going to start with new stuff. And I went... So our last episode was filmed on a Thursday, and then that weekend I went to a craft fair or a holiday bazaar that had over 300 vendors. It was insanity. And I'm only going to show a few of the highlighted things that I got just because I did talk about it in my Vlogmas. But
of course you went and got new crafty things.
Look at my gnome. Alex and I have twinsy gnomes.
Yeah.
But they were breast cancer awareness, and you look at the little material that was used, and how was I not going to get that? I totally had to get my little guy. And Alex has one, and her guy, his beard is white. So I do like the pink beard.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of going back a little bit. Uh-huh. Whenever I was just like, oh, of course you got no. I'm not saying it like it was a bad thing. It's just you like to, every time you're around, the shop that we go to, we were there yesterday, and every time that we're about to leave, she's just like, well, I feel like I need to buy something. It's just like, you don't need to buy it. And so is Emily. So is the owner. Like, she was just
Erica.
Erica. You don't
I
need
know,
to. You don't need
but
to
you know,
buy
I don't do it because I feel like I have to leave with something. I do it because she opens her shop up, and you go in and you plant yourself on her furniture, and you knit on your projects.
Yeah, that's what we were doing. We didn't go there to buy anything. We were just going there so that we could knit in a group.
Yeah, and it just felt nice to hang out. Well, if she's running a business and people always just come in and hang out, that's her business. So I feel like even if it's a small little candy bar that she has sitting on her register, if I feel like I need to get something. And that's what we got yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't feel like I needed to buy any more yarn or any more needles, but I did want to do something while I'm there. So, yes, at the craft fair, I got a gnome. And it's mainly because it was breast cancer awareness. And there was a cause. And so the other purchase that I made. Anthony, close your eyes. Plug your ears. It might be part of a Christmas present. So it is a piece of wood, and it's a puzzle. And all the pieces come apart. And if you look at it, it's a mountain, and then you've got the building, which is a barn. And then you have the little place, and you've got... So it's a nativity scene, and you've got the star up here. Well, all these pieces come apart, and you kind of set them up as a nativity scene. I'll see if I can set it up and insert a picture. But all of the proceeds from this purchase were going to a local organization that provides resources to kids with cancer. And that's local kids. So, yes, it was for a cause, and so I bought it. Now, this next purchase, the only cause was because I liked the bag and I really wanted it. But with that being said, it was $15. I mean, $15. Look at this project bag that I now have. And you think, oh, look, it's a little red project bag with great big handles. And it's got a cute little wintry scene, the material on the inside. I don't know if you can really see it, but all the little cabins in the woods. But then you have the front of it. Instead of believe in yourself, believe in your elf. I think it's fantastic. There was no special cause other than the fact that I thought it was cute and I needed to have another cute bag to carry my gnome home in. So that is something that I got at the most recent, or the Christmas bazaar that we went to. And then when we get to my whips, we will talk about one of the projects that I'm doing with one of my Advents. And it is one that I am having so much fun with. And the designer of the project is Crystal T Knits. Well, on Instagram, she put out a test knitter call. And I applied. And I was like, oh, I don't know. It's only the second time I've done a test knit. But I have so thoroughly enjoyed the project of hers that I'm doing with my Advent that I really wanted to at least apply. And something my husband says is the answer will always be no if you don't ask. So I applied, and she got back to me that day and says, oh, well, here you go. Here's the stipulations, and I can't share the project. I can't talk about the project. As far as me, Tanya, I can't share with you guys what the project is, but let me tell you that I was ecstatic that she has allowed me this opportunity, and I went and got some yarn for it. I'm reading through it because, before Anthony had his accident, I did have a career, and I was an editor for an engineering firm, and so I enjoy that. I've not been doing it for 7 years. So I've read through the project or the pattern, any little typos or any little things, I'm going to email back to her. But I didn't, what are you smirking about, Anthony?
Because at the end of the first week of school, all throughout my school career.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
They would give you packets and pages.
The teachers
would and be like, go home, take this to your parents and
class rules and syllabus
and have them sign it. I'd give it to my mom and she would sign it, but then she would also critique everything. If there was a mistake, she would edit it, and all of the teachers knew that they had to pay a little bit more attention if they were going to send something home to my mom.
Well, how embarrassing though, to be a teacher, having parents send their kids into your class, and you're sending something home to these parents saying, okay, if your kid's going to be in my class, this is what the expectations are going to be this year. Please sign this so that you're acknowledging that you're aware of it. This is my tardy policy, my absentee part, my makeup policy if you have to make up work. And how embarrassing for that teacher to know that you have sent that home to hundreds of families with misspelt words. Okay? I was simply making the changes, marking it up for them,
and bringing it to their attention
so they could fix it for the next group of families they were sending it to. It would be correct then, and they didn't have to be embarrassed.
If it was me, I would have typed up one and then just hit print for all of them. I would not retype it after every time, after each class.
Yes, but then they already have it typed, and they can just go in and make the few changes. Anyway, my kids hated it when I did that. They all dreaded the first week of school bringing those papers home. And anyway, so I have gone through that for her pattern. I had originally planned on casting it on this past weekend when I bought the yarn, but I wanted to save the yarn to show you guys. It is calling for 4 colors. So, and I used this yarn for the hat that I made for my dad, and I absolutely loved it. So, Miss Crystal T Knits, if you're watching, these are the colors I'm using for your test knit. Isn't that great? I'm so excited. I'm so excited to cast this on. It is a DK weight. They are each 100 grams. It is the Sueño. This is the charcoal color, and this is the color that I've used. This is the color I used for my father's hat. It is 80% superwash merino.
Sorry.
Just do it one more time, just to make sure you really got it in there, son. Okay. 80%. We'll just wait.
Sorry.
You're not sorry. You're not sorry.
You're moving it away from me.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're...
No, I'm
80% superwash merino, 20% viscose from bamboo. It's about 255 yards per skein. So this one is the charcoal.
It was a delicious drink. I wanted to get all of it.
Well, you did. Everybody heard it. This is dusty lilac.
He is such a good boy.
This is plum. And this one is Ice Ice Baby. Ooh. So, these are the colors I will be using for that test knit. It does have a deadline of January 10th. So that
is your birthday.
It's my birthday. I'm going to be 28 again. And I will have a new project completed by my birthday. And I'm super stoked about it. Anyway, so yes, January 10th, I will have a finished object for sure by that date because that is her deadline. I am not worried about meeting that. I'm super excited to be working on this project. I am going to cast it on today. And then my final acquisitions for the last 2 weeks was another package from Miami. And let's see here. I love pulling her bags out. She tells me I don't need to, but I'll do it quickly. So look at the size of that.
That's a big one.
I know. It's got pockets on the inside. Love it. I won't show all of them in that great of detail, but look at that blue with the yarn balls. Oh, look at the sheep. And the handle. And all of her bags have the box bottom. More knitting. What does this say? When I learned how to knit, I forgot how to cook. Knitting. Knowing, noble, industrious, therapeutic, tactical, inventive, nimble, and gratifying. I turn strings into things. Life is short, knit fast. Does it count as aerobics if I knit fast enough?
Peace, love, knit.
Yeah. Keep calm and carry yarn. I'm not retired. Knitting is a full-time job. Okay. Anyway, this is super cute.
It's not a choice. It's a way of life.
Here's another one with a different color inside. And oh, I like this material with the handle. Okay. This is going to be going into my You Are Amazing, Cute, Babe. Look at that. Notion pouches, orange. And what's in this one? Ooh, this one's got sheep on it. Sorry about the rustling. Look at that. Look at the size of that. Wow.
I about need a new project bag because this is getting big.
Oh, and a matching Notions pouch inside. Super cute. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's so much more in here. Okay. That's the end of the bag. Pull these last few little things out.
So are you going to put them on the website so we could sell them or like?
Yes, that's one of my goals. I'll be talking about my goals. She sent some more orange ones here. Ooh, this is one big one. Oh, and it is orange. Look at that, you guys. It's got handles. That's massive. It's got the box bottom.
I'll have to talk to Grandma because I'm going to have to need something about that big whenever this...
Are you going to... yeah, we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that was a close one.
Well, I'm going to have to like talk to her on the phone or something. I don't know.
Okay, so... oh, look at that one. Just as big. I would say these are probably 18 inches or 2 feet tall. I mean, that's big. Box bottom with the handle.
What do they go by in the UK for measurements?
Centimeters.
Centimeters.
And meters, I think. I don't know. Okay.
So what would that...
I'm not sure. Google it.
That's what
Find out for me.
That's what I'm doing.
Enlighten us.
I'm doing.
Okay. So I'm going to write something here so I don't forget. Now, that's it for new stuff. Next, we're going to talk about FOs. Now, first FO we are going to discuss is housed in this bag. Knitted Niceties. This is one that I got at my knitting retreat. This is this came as the prize that I won with my double knit blanket.
So 2 feet in centimeters is 70 centimeters or 61 centimeters. It's 60.96.
Okay.
So it's 61 centimeters.
Okay.
And that's 2 feet. That's
okay.
And then right here.
So, finished object minus the ends being woven because you know it's Tanya. So this is the cowl for my dad. Love how it turned out. This was done, I can't tell you what yarn was used because this was yarn that was try it on. This was yarn that the Saturday after Thanksgiving, the local yarn shop to me was having a door prize, a handout, a giveaway for the first 25 people into her shop. And I was one of the first 25. Oh, look at how handsome. What do you think about that?
Keep you nice and warm up in the AK.
Yeah. I think Grandpa's going to love it.
Yeah.
Does it feel too tight?
It feels nice and snug.
Okay, good.
I definitely... So up in Alaska, it has been in the negatives for like...
Below zero.
Yes.
I'll ask my parents what the temperature is today, and I'll put that in Fahrenheit and Celsius. I'll put that on the screen.
Okay.
So yeah, this yarn, I can't tell you what yarn was used because it didn't have a label in the project bag, and it just had like a small little postcard as the pattern because it was a little chart. So that'll be a present sent up for my dad. That is an FO. My next FO is one that I'm over the moon excited about. And this is one that I will show again after Christmas because it is a Christmas present. And I'm calling it an FO because it has not been cast off the needles yet, but it's because I'm kind of trying to decide what kind of border I want to put on it. So it is.
So it is. I just checked it. I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's right now. It's 16 degrees in Alaska.
In Anchorage or Palmer?
In Anchorage.
What is it in Palmer? Because that's where Grandpa lives. Grandma's in Anchorage.
It's not too far away from Anchorage.
So Grandma's in Anchorage, and that's 16 degrees.
That's negative 8 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
And, okay, Palmer.
So with this illusion knitting, which I won't hold up and show because it did exactly what it was supposed to, and it looks gorgeous.
It's 14 degrees in Palmer, and so I'm assuming it's 16 degrees Celsius. Okay. I don't know if it is.
I'll put it on the screen. So 14 and 16, Anchorage and Palmer. And what is it here today? Here today it is 37. Yep. Okay. So can I finish talking about this one now?
I guess.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So illusion knitting. I am trying to figure out how I want to put a border around this. And if you look at this, it is going to be a wall hanging, and it's several feet long.
You should.
So it is significantly larger than this. But when you look at it straight on, it is going to be, it just looks like lines. But when you turn it to the side, an image appears. Okay. So what I'm trying to decide is if I want to put this dark brown, if I want to put a border all the way around the entire, because it's going to be a wall hanging.
I would do a dark brown instead of a light brown.
If I even want a border. Or if I want to frame it or hang it on a dowel. I'm not sure yet. So that's why this one is still sitting on the needles. I could cast off and be done with it. But I do need to figure out how I'm going to put that border on there, if I'm going to put a border, and how I'm going to actually hang it on a wall, if I'm going to mount it or frame it. Or I have thought about putting across the top, and I would crochet it across the top and put probably a 3-inch border, and then fold it over on itself to create like an envelope, and then slide a dowel through it and then hang it on the dowel. I would do the same thing on the bottom, create another little sleeve to put a dowel through, just to put the dowel through the bottom to weigh it down, to hold it down. So it's kind of what I have in my mind. If anybody else has created a wall hanging like this, I would be... Our little robo vacuum cleaner is stuck on something.
I'll go save it.
Go save him.
I'm gonna go save him.
His name is Gremlin.
Dang, he's really struggling.
He is struggling. 1 second. Close. It sounds so serious.
Oh.
What was he stuck on?
He was underneath the entertainment center.
Oh, is he out now?
Yeah, I pulled him out.
Okay.
Oh,
so, That's what, if you have done any kind of wall hanging like that and you have any amazing ideas or a YouTube video or anything like that that could help me out, I would really appreciate any feedback. I do need to get this done in the next week or so. So that would be it for my FOs. You want to talk about your whip?
My whip?
Should we talk about whips?
Do you want to talk about yours first and I'll go after?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, so just like in the last video we were talking about how I didn't get very far because we got my mom got sick and I couldn't come over and yeah. So I feel like I've done the, you know, so this green stitch marker is where this red stitch marker is where this is what I got done.
That's where you were at our last podcast.
Yeah, at our last podcast. And the red stitch marker is right here.
And I'm going to hold it up there?
Yeah.
Okay. So the red, let go. So his red is where he was at the last episode, if you can see the red here. And then all the way up, he has more than doubled where he was.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to kind of...
There you go.
Get...
How you feeling about it?
Feeling good. But I wanted to kind of... Like, since I... and I finished my first skein. I started my second skein yesterday. But I wanted to, like, since it had been about a month since you guys saw, like, any real progress, I kind of wanted to, and then the last time I had hardly gotten any progress, and so I kind of wanted to make up for so I feel like since I,
what size needle are you using?
We already went over this. I'm using 8.
I know, but there might be.
Oh, that's right.
New people watching, yeah. Anthony.
Yeah. I'm using a needle size 8.
Nope.
No?
No, it might be an 8mm, but I want to say it's an 11. Yeah, it's a US 11, 8mm.
Well, I knew it was an...
And what yarn are you using? US... The Bernay.
Yeah, I'm using... the Bernay
blanket.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, I was looking at it trying to see if there's any more information on that little thing. But
so how many yards?
7.5. Or no, it's 220 yards.
Mm-hmm. And how big of a skein is this?
It's 10.5 ounces and 300 grams.
Yep, and it's 100% polyester.
Yep.
So, do you have anything else you're knitting or crafting? That's it?
Nope. I'm a one project kind of guy.
That's a monogamous knitter.
I'm a monogamous knitter.
Yes.
Oh.
A monogamous knitter.
And my mom is the opposite. She has multiple projects going on.
Variety
man, that
is
was
good.
A very close one.
Okay. So, we're going to talk
oh my gosh,
we're going to talk about my whips moving forward.
Jeez, that was almost really bad.
The only whips that I am working on currently are my Advent. And I have 3 of them. I have 3 different Advents this year. Each one is going into a project. So, the first one I'm doing that I'll talk about, the yarn, and I go into much greater detail with my Advent. with my Vlogmas. So with the first one I'm going to talk about, it is done using Gem State Yarns Advent. And this one, I am just making a granny square with each day. So I have a stack here because this is all of my granny squares so far.
It's 15 of them.
16.
Oh, you did the one for today?
Yeah, this was today's.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, and I am just having an amazing time doing this. The granny squares don't take me long. Something that it was a project that I knew I wanted to do a crochet one as well. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a crochet granny square every day, and I'm having a great time with it. It just takes me about 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes maybe. And I've got a granny square. At the end of the Advent, I'm going to pick a color, and I'm thinking, after chatting with some folks in my Zoom meeting this morning, it's probably going to be a gray, so that I can have it go around each one of my squares, and I'm going to make one big blanket with it. So there's no pattern I'm following with that. It's just a granny square. If you crochet, I'm doing 12 rounds on a size E hook.
Hey, Mom.
Yes.
I kind of messed up.
Okay, give me 1 minute.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. So I'm using a size E hook. I don't know if that's gonna focus at all, but it is an E. So I'm using a size E hook. I'm doing 12 rounds, and that is using up most of my 20 gram minis that came in that Advent. So that's my first Advent. The next one I'm going to talk about is my Advent calendar that I got from Cornbread and Honey. They're on Etsy. And her theme with her Advent this year was finding peace. This is one I was going to do the Radvent, and then I was going to do the Northeasterly. I actually started the Northeasterly, and I was underwhelmed, I guess, with the project. And maybe I would enjoy it if I didn't have so many other things going on. But I definitely was not enjoying the project, but I loved the yarn colors. So I took out the Northeasterly and I cast on the Habitation throw. So I am working on the Habitation throw. I just started that last night, the night before, and that's as far as I've gotten on the Habitation throw. I have taken the first 14 days that I had already opened, and I put them into a magic yarn ball. So this is one continuous string, one continuous fiber, so I can just keep going. And this is the first 14 days. I'm trying to get caught up so that I am current with this one. I might not be able to make that by Christmas, but at least now I know what I'm doing. And what I did with this project is I weighed each 20 gram mini. I wound it into a ball. I weighed that ball, and then I split that ball in two. So I had two basically 20 gram balls, or 10 gram balls. And
is that what you were doing yesterday? Because you were, okay, yeah,
yep.
I saw that you were weighing something.
Yep. So I started here. This is day 1, right? Day 1. And I'll work and put in 10 grams, and then I'll put in 10 grams of day 2, and then 3 and 4, all the way up to day 25. I'll put in the full 20 grams for day 5, and then I'll put in the last 10 grams of 24 and 23 and 22. So each of the corners will be day 1, and you'll just see the colors kind of come together and meet in the middle. So
they're all going to be different colors?
They are all different colors because these are the ones I'm opening each day.
Okay.
So
well, they all that all is one color.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yep. So this one has day 1. It had day 1 on the outside, so I could start with that one. And day 14 is in the center of this ball. With this ball, because I will be starting with the highest number, which is day 23, I have day 14 or 15 on here on the outside. And the center of this is day 1, because this is the one that I will do after I start my decrease. So that's what I've got. I've got my beginning and my end. And I am doing the habitation throw with that one. Now, that brings me to my third and final whip that I'm going to talk about today. And this is my Advent Shawl. That's the name of the pattern, is Advent Shawl by Crystal T Knits. And this project is, I'm putting day 14. This was day 14. And this, I'm using my Inner Yarn Zen Advent. And her color theme for this Advent was Outlander. It was Outlander inspired. So I was expecting a lot of earthy, natural colors. And with this pattern by Crystal T Knits, each day that you open a new color, there is a new stitch pattern for that. So I am on day 14 and look at this beauty. I mean, I just think it's gorgeous. So working on this shawl was my first introduction to Crystal T Knits, and I just fell in love. I mean, I'll get it a little closer. I am having so much fun working on this shawl. And every day I was like, okay, well, I'm ready to do the next one. I did stop on the 14th because I was like, okay, I need to get the habitation throw started. So isn't that beautiful though? And these colors, I mean, I'm just really happy with this project. I've really, really enjoyed it. And it's very doable. I mean, the amount of knitting for each day is totally manageable. And yeah, so those are my whips and my FOs and my new acquisitions.
You know who would love that shawl, I'm assuming?
Who?
My really good friend of 11 years, he passed away a couple of years ago. His name was Colin. And yeah, he would really like that project that you're making.
So with you talking about Colin, this part right here totally makes me think of Colin. That right there.
Yeah.
That whole stretch of color. So Colin's nickname for Anthony was what?
Sunshine.
Colin called Anthony Sunshine. That was his nickname for Anthony, and
from the very first day that I met him, the day that I met him was my very first day at my first job. He worked there. It turned out that my very first day was his very last day, but because he was a really good employee, my boss, he would kind of call, like, be like, hey, would you mind if you would come and help us out? So it was technically his last day, but he would come back every once in a while. And my very first day, like, he said something funny, and so I laughed, and he's just like, ooh, boy, you got such a big smile. You look like sunshine. I'm going to call you Sunshine. And
it stuck.
It just stuck. Like, my name in his phone was Sunshine.
When he called to talk to me, or I would run into him, he and I went and played bingo. With Anthony, obviously went too, but how's Sunshine doing? I haven't heard from him. So yeah, no, it was definitely, and those colors make me think of him for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's all that I've got. Goals.
Okay.
So the next time we put out an episode will be December 30th.
Okay. I don't want to go outrageous with my goals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just keep it at 3 inches.
Okay.
Because 3 inches was my goal, and I like, I don't even know how much I did, but definitely way over 3 inches.
Yeah.
But I don't want to exceed 3 inches, at least not quite yet. And so, because if it's like 4, 5, 6 inches, then I'll feel like
Stress.
I'll feel like I have to do it instead of me doing it, out of joy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's
very smart.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it small, and if I keep it small and I exceed the expectations, it's sweet. If I just kind of do 3 inches, then I would have met my goal, and so I just kind of like to keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
Very good. So my goals for our next episode, I want to be current, which means all the habitation throw, I will have gotten through all 25 days. I may not be done with the decrease, but I do want to have all the 25 days into the habitation throw and be on my way with the decrease. I would like to have all of my granny squares current, and my Outlander Advent Shawl by Crystal Tea Knits and Inner Yarns In will be completed. My test knit, I think I'm very excited to be working on that one. So I'm not going to put a goal on that one, only because I don't want to rush. I really want to count. I want to do a really thorough job with this test knit. It's only the second one that I've done. And I want to make sure that where she has her stitch count, I'm making sure that all of her instructions are what I want her to be able to get the most out of allowing me this opportunity. So,
have you ever thought about doing?
Okay, so my goals will be to be well on my way with the test knit, because I don't want to be rushing it. And I want to be at least
mad.
through...
I'm just disappointed.
Well, you're still talking, so now I'm getting disappointed and mad. And I want to be well into my decreases of my habitation throw. I really want... Oh, I will have... Can I just mute him?
I thought you were saying, oh, because of what I said.
I've tuned you out. I don't even know what you said.
Yeah.
But I do want to have Anthony's Illusion Knit quit.
It's just a very, just very sad moment.
Why don't you go in the other room and cry about it then?
I mean, you know the answer. You're just refusing to tell me.
Okay, so his Illusion Knit will be mounted and given to somebody else. But that will be one of the goals met.
Yeah, see, that would be extra
So,
bad.
anyway, I think... And then Etsy. I will have...
Bad and frustrating.
I might have to pause this and record after he leaves, because...
Oh, man.
Okay.
I'm just doing it to mess with you.
Well, you're messing with my blood pressure, and I'm going to need medication here.
Drop. Go and give a dude. Say what you're going to say.
My final goal would be to have a very large portion of Mom's bags posted on Etsy. I think that would be an amazing thing to have accomplished going into the new year. So, you guys, I'm so sorry. This one was chaotic. It was insanity. I do apologize. So, I am going to take him home and re-record this entire episode alone. And we will talk to you guys later. I hope everybody has an amazing Christmas and a wonderful time with their family. And Anthony, do you have anything else?
Nope.
Are you sure? Nothing else?
I'm good.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay. Bye, guys.